What is up, and welcome to the video. You've seen the title, the soft plastics that I have in my tackle box, and how I like to run them. So, we'll just go down this line and just show you how I use them, I'll tell you when I use them, and just everything along those lines. So, go ahead and clear these off real quick, and we will get started. All right, so we'll start off with arguably the most popular soft plastic, Senko, Wacky Worm, whatever you want to call it. So we'll talk about the weightless ways and then the weighted ways. You will almost never see me run a Senko weighted, but there are times. So earlier in the year, you want to run it weighted, but around now, when it's like May or June, you want to run them weightless. So the first one, plain and simple, we got the Wacky Rig. You want to put it in the middle of the worm. There's a part that's not textured on every single Wacky Worm. You want to have it somewhere at the start of that, but there's a weight difference. You want to find the middle of that so it hangs off perfectly and it just bounces around like that. So I've got it attached to lines, you can see, but you want it to just bounce like that. So that's the first way. There is one more way to Wacky Rig it, so I'll show you that real quick. You want to take it, you want to put it like that, but you don't want it to go all the way through. That's really important. So you take it and you thread it on till it's about there. Oh, till it's about there. Nope, sorry. Jeez. Take it like that. Run it through. Depending on how soft the worm is, that'll either be stronger or weaker. For this one, it's weaker, but so sometimes it'll help it hang on or bounce better. But like I said, just depends on the firmness or stiffness. So those are the two out of the three weightless ways to do it. This other one is one I learned recently, but you want to take it and bend this top, bend that to about there. So as you can see, it's about probably a fourth of it. And you want to stab it through, a little lower. Stab it through. You're just gonna thread it on there. And you're gonna get a solid amount of that worm. Thread it on to about there. And you'll just have that hang off. You can leave more or less, but that lets it bounce in the water and it just gives it a little more movement. So there's that way of doing it, and then you can do it. You start just a little lower than half. You're just gonna take it, just thread it on there until you get just before the bottom. Like that. So that's another way it'll bounce. And I've noticed it hooks up a little better there, but it depends on, just depends on how the bass are biting. So those are the weightless ways. We'll get into the weighted ways really quick. So I just throw these bullet weights. So you want to tie these on before you have a hook. If you have them on a rod, I just have this extra piece of line, so I'm just going to put it on like that. So these, really simple weight to use. You just throw the line into them. Should look about something like that. So you're gonna want to take this and you're just gonna, the first way to do it is a Texas rig. That's where you'll take it and about, I'd say probably about a centimeter, maybe 2. So it'll look like that. You're gonna take that all the way to the top of the hook, and then you're gonna wanna spin it around like that. So flip the hook so it hangs off like that. Then you're gonna grab it at about mid-length You're gonna push it in, and you're gonna stab the hook through. Oh, and hopefully not hook yourself like me. Take it like that. So it'll look like that. You push on it, that hook comes out. So that's a weedless version too. So hopefully it won't catch as much moss. You can run it. Yeah, you can run it lower to the bottom without it catching a ton of leaves and moss and whatever is at the bottom of y'all's ponds, lakes, etc. So there is one more way. One more way. This one, plain and simple, nothing special. You're just gonna take it, nothing more, nothing less, just thread it on there till about there. Take it on. The trick to doing it like this is you wanna bring it almost onto the line a little bit. So as you can see, it's up onto the line. So it looks like that. That's another way to do it. You won't see me run it like that most of the time, but the option is there. Now, we're gonna get into the fluke. This one, I honestly probably use it more than Senkos around this time. So, you have this, you have your hook, and that's about it. So you're gonna take it. There's two ways you can do it. I hook it through the belly like this. So you have that fat part, so you just want to take it, set it about like that. Same as the last one, you're going to thread it up, spin it around. Now this part is important. Most flukes will have these pretty big things that open up. You're going to want to make sure you get into the thinnest part, like the very bottom. You don't want to accidentally get the hook into one of those flaps, or you won't be able to set the hook as well. And it will not run right, which is not fun to deal with. So you'll have that. When it gets bit, hook will come out like so. So that's the first way. That's not how you're supposed to do it because it's not as weedless. But for me, I don't really care. But you'll take it. On this one, you'll have that fat part. So you want to go through its back this time. So same amount, same way to do it. Now this. So you just want to take it through the back like so. Just like that. So you'll have it under those, and whenever it gets bit, they'll come down. The only issue with this is sometimes that hook will get stuck in those, and then it won't come out, and then you won't be able to hook something. So that's why I don't run it like that, but you can. Just depends on your personal preference. So we are done with anything that involves weights now. Oh wait, no, sorry. We have one more. That's my bad. The craw. This one's realistic. You can buy unrealistic ones, but I really like these. This one is the it's the 4D craw. Gosh, what's the brand? I don't remember the brand, but if you just look up the 4D craw, you can get the same one I have. They have bigger sizes, and then they have the smaller ones. I got the smaller ones because the fish that I fish for usually like to bite smaller lures, but so you can see super detailed, super realistic, love them. These ones, there's only about one way to do it, or I guess there's kind of two, but you just want to thread it on the hook until you get to where you're at the end of the tail. And that's when you want to bring it up. You don't want to go past that squiggly part. You just want to go to it. So that's the first way. Works well, depends on your preference on that one. You want to make sure you have the bullet weight on it, but that's just to have it sink faster. You can do this with jig heads too. I forgot to mention that. But for the other way to do it, especially if you're using a big hook like me, this is going to be another good way to do it. but if you're using a more realistic one like I'm using, it won't look quite as good. But you want to take it and you want to thread it all the way on, all the way through the top of the head, right before the end. So right there. So you can see, very top of the head. This one, you do take over the squiggly part. Like so. That's how it looks. I'll slide the weight down really quick so you can see it with the weight. Hold on. Okay. That's how it looks with the weight. So overall, it's a pretty good lure, except I would not run it if you're in a more open pond. You would run this more with heavier moss or rocks. It would work extremely well if you have a rocky pond. So now we're gonna get into the stuff that you wouldn't normally run with weights, but it's a personal preference thing. We got this, just a paddle worm, nothing too like special. You want to take it to the end of the second bowl. Thread that down till you get over the squiggly part. Twist it around and done. Texas rig, that's about the only way you want to run those. It's that one, quick, easy, we're done. All right, next we have lizard, and then there's also brush hogs that are pretty much the exact same. Or trench hogs, trench hogs that are the exact same. So you want to take it, go through the top of the head to the eyes. Every single lizard lure you have will have eyes of some sort, or at least they should. So you go right between the eyes. You're gonna thread it up, spin it around, and Texas rig it. This one, you don't want to have as much slack on the Texas rig. You want to make sure it's completely tight so it doesn't spin, because they will spin. So you want it like that. So that's about the only way you can run those, same as the last one, or else it'll spin weird and it just won't look good. Last but definitely not least, we have these little grub things with this little round long tail. But there's three main ways you can do this. You can either A, thread it all the way on to the bottom, like so. It's just right to where it switches colors, like that. Next, you can go about halfway down, just throw it on like that, so it hangs like so. Finally, this I would not advise because it's not durable at all with how small it is. But you can Texas rig it, and then you just want to take it right where that's at, take it through the colored part, just like that. So those are how I do that one. So that's it. That's it for that one. There you have it, folks. My tackle box, the soft plastics that I have in them, and that's how I run them. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see more videos like this, let me down below. If you have any other ideas, let me know. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.